Hello, it is I. Now you may or may not know this, but before I started doing racer game and Forza videos on YouTube, I was a big PlayStation guy, like big. I had the PS1, PS2 Fat, PS3 Slim. Here's the actual controller of my PS3, by the way, it's all like worn out and stuff. And I also have this PSP, which is like the only device I have that actually works, and I have an old KSI background which shows how old it is. Now seeing as I was a PlayStation guy and a car guy at the same time, of course I played Gran Turismo. Not just the PSP version, by the way. I mean, I've owned every single Gran Turismo game excluding GT Sport. A-Spec, B-Spec, the prologues, the Academy editions, the concepts, like everything I own. I even have this game called Tourist Trophy, which is like Gran Turismo but with motorcycles instead of cars. I'm dragging this into it for way too long. Basically, I was a huge Gran Turismo fan and I still am. I and pretty much everybody else found the game so legendary and well executed, and there's so many things that other racing games could learn from Gran Turismo. So in today's video, I'll be going through 10 things that Forza should learn from Gran Turismo. Now before we get into this video, make sure to hit the like button down below. 7,500 likes is the target for today, which likes seriously do help out the channel a lot more than you can imagine. Also make sure to subscribe as well if you are new. We're trying to hit 145k subscribers by the end of this month, and any help will be greatly appreciated. Thank you very much, and without further ado, let us get into this video.
So I reckon I better off giving them
my Spanish girl, Valeria, super freaky, but she acting diva.
Now what Gran Turismo did with the car list is very ingenious, but rare to see racing games doing as well. So you know how in Forza games, as the games evolve, they remove certain cars and add some new ones. For example, going from Horizon 2 to Horizon 3, they removed the C6 Corvette Stingray, but added a new Ford GT. Well, Gran Turismo, they don't do that. When making a new game, instead of removing certain cars and adding some more, they keep their old cars and then add some extra cars. Which sounds really simple, but I can't think of any other racing game that does this. It means the car list can keep growing and growing, making the future car lists better in every way possible. Another thing Gran Turismo did very well was including many variants of the same car. For comparison, out of all the Forza games ever made in history, we only received one Toyota Prius, and that was only in Motorsport 4. However, Gran Turismo 6 didn't just include one, or two, or three, but they included 4 Toyota Priuses. Now that's a bit mad, but it's crazy to know that they did this with almost every car in the game, and this all resulted in a car list of 1,197 cars, near enough triple the amount of cars in Forza Horizon 4 at launch. And yes, quantity over quality isn't a very good mindset to have, but when developing a game, trust me, it just is.
And all she wants to do is tease a boy, that's why she give me neck kisses when I'm playing FIFA.
Most motorsport games such as Project Cars, Assetto Corsa, and even Forza stick to including just real life tracks into the game, with maybe 1 or 2 fictional tracks. Now real life tracks are incredible. Monza, Spa, Circuit de la Sarthe, Catalunya, these are all incredible tracks and we really appreciate having them in the game. But we'd all really like to see some fictional tracks in the game as well. Gran Turismo, for example, have many real life tracks and many fictional tracks as well, like Deep Forest Raceway, Special Stage Route X, the Autumn Ring, Tokyo Expressway, the Moon. Wait, did you just say the Moon? Yep, you could literally drive on the moon in Gran Turismo and there's zero gravity. It's amazing. And these aren't just poorly made tracks which were neglected, these were some of the most loved tracks in the game. In fact, I preferred these tracks to the real life stuff they included at the time. On top of that, we could even create our own proper race tracks in Gran Turismo 6, and that was seriously fun. So fingers crossed that the Forza devs will add some more fictional tracks, as well as let us be able to make our own ones as well.
If I ain't feeling it, then I'm swerving. My new girl got my old girl hurting.
One reason why I loved Gran Turismo games were because they were so relaxing. Forget ASMR, lo-fi, rail sounds, or meditating, just hop into Gran Turismo 6. There were so many factors in the game that made it so relaxing to play. Getting your car washed, getting an oil change, the simple to navigate clutterless home screens, and mainly the music. Now I know how much I keep banging on about music choice and how much they affect the game, and I keep getting followed up with comments like, but it's not a rhythm game, so it doesn't need good music, why are you talking about music? Rhythm game or not, music is very important for any game, and for what Gran Turismo was trying to be, they nailed the music choice. For example, here is a song from Gran Turismo 5. Now that is really relaxing, and look at that thumbs up I just gave. Now let's compare that to a song from Forza Motorsport 7. Yep, Do you see what I mean now? Forza did used to use some relaxing music similar to that of Gran Turismo's in Motorsport 5 and 6, so let's hope that they go back to these roots, as this was much better suited to a motorsport game.
The last ex that I had was a lighty, but the next ex that I get is a German.
Out of every single racing game I played, including Test Drive Unlimited games, no game can come close to beating Gran Turismo's progression system. You really need to hustle and fight to level up and become better. Gran Turismo 5 gave you 20,000 credits to buy any premium car of your liking as a starter car, and these cars were usually underpowered hatchbacks, and Gran Turismo 6 gave you a Honda Fit. Yep, now comparing that to Forza Motorsport games, Motorsport 5 gave you the choice between some pretty nippy coupes and some very powerful hot hatchbacks. Motorsport 6 gave you a very similar car choice to Motorsport 5 except slightly more powerful, and Motorsport 7, they gave you supercars, borderline hypercars, for free as a starter car. Yep. But it's not just the starter cars that Gran Turismo did better. Unlike Forza games, Gran Turismo was not forgiving at all. They really want you to work hard and hustle for your credits. This may sound really off-putting, but the satisfaction you get when you buy your first supercar in the game is unlike none other. I literally had to do a whole hour on the Nürburgring just to afford a Ferrari F430, and this was one of the cheaper Ferraris of the game as well. So if there are any Forza Motorsport devs watching this video, progression is key. Please don't gift us a free McLaren F1.
That's an X5 or a 6-door. I'll get cocaine white like a gringo.
And this may surprise you, but Gran Turismo actually had pretty decent customization. They pretty much had all the things that Forza didn't have. For example, you can install a custom wing, and I mean custom. You can tailor the width, the height, the shape of the end plates, the stands. Very nice stuff that hasn't been included in a racing game since like the Underground 2 days. They also had exhaust that changed the sound of your car. Yes, most of the cars ended up sounding the same when you put the titanium race exhaust on, but hey, it's the thought that counts, I guess. You can paint the brake calipers, you can put in nitrous, and they even had interior customization, kind of. When you buy a car, you have a choice of paint, which sometimes changes the color of your interior, and you can even install certain gauges inside of your car. Choose what specific reading you want, what color, where to put it. All seriously impressive for a 2013 game. So let's hope that this stuff gets added into a future Forza game.
I got a link at Stony for clothes, so this hoodie that I own cost Ocho Cinco.
Modifying your car in Gran Turismo is expensive. To fully max out your car in Forza without an engine swap, it would probably set you back under 100 grand. However, maxing out your car in Gran Turismo 6 would set you back around 200 grand, if not more. The price on things in Gran Turismo is properly realistic, as tuning your car isn't as easy as spending pocket money on some 400 brake horsepower turbochargers. And although realistic can sometimes be dreadfully boring, in this case it's good, like very good. On top of that, even painting your car costs you money, just like it would do in real life. And the paint colors were rare. Chrome paints were really exclusive, and you'd have to be extremely lucky if you did have some. I only had 2 chrome paints in Gran Turismo 6, and I thought that was a flex. In Forza, you could constantly keep changing your paint for free, with the only limitation being the amount of designs you've saved. Yes, this is perfect for an arcade game like Horizon, but for a slightly more serious one like Motorsport, it's a no from me, I'm afraid.
With my Spanish girl playing FIFA, Mas tequila, si señorita.
Now this is a feature that's rarely spoken about, which would be a stupendously amazing addition to Motorsport. Trading cars can open a gateway to Motorsport that could change the whole feel of the game for the better. I mean, we could have proper pink slip races against your friends or other online players. How amazing would that be to a Forza Motorsport franchise? Games and racing games especially have lacked making you feel proper emotion over the past few years. So imagine the adrenaline you'd feel gambling your prized possession of a car for another car. Pink slips meets Forza. I seriously think it would be a total game changer if trading cars was introduced into the franchise.
Dinero's what I'm out to get, sombrero, I get hat and then I'm out again.
Photo mode in Gran Turismo games have always been incredible. It was probably the best photo mode of any racing game. Just like Forza paid good attention to Forza Vista, Gran Turismo paid just as much attention to photo mode. However, unlike Forza where the only places you can take pictures are in Forza Vista or on a racetrack, Gran Turismo gives you various different real-life photorealistic locations for you to take pictures at. For example, the Gema Solar Farm, Red Bull Hangar 7, the City of Arts and Sciences, Ronda. And you gotta admit that these are some truly beautiful locations. So fingers crossed that Forza yank a leaf out of Gran Turismo's book and do this to the next Motorsport game, hopefully. And those are 10 things that Forza need to learn. What am I doing? And those are 10 things that Forza need to learn from Gran Turismo. I make a lot of these top 10 videos, don't I? Anyways, if you guys enjoyed this video, then make sure to hit the like down below. 7,500 likes is the target for today. Do make sure to subscribe as well if you want to see more content just like this. I upload once every 3 days consistently. Who sticks to a schedule nowadays on like Forza channel? Like no one. So yeah, subscribe if you're new. I love having new faces. And because we're trying to hit 145k subscribers by the end of the month, and any help will be greatly appreciated. And I will catch up with you guys very soon. Until next time, have a good one guys. Stay safe, stay inside. unless lockdown's over.
Hey, they said they
Cheers.
like it when I rap like this, so I reckon I'm better off giving them that. I Billy be 1 in a million, killing the shit when I hit like a swing in the bat. Average, you and I rapping like this, then the fuckers I'm bringing it back. If you ain't gonna listen to this, how the fuck you gonna listen to that? Well, you be